Hi, it's Mai here with my May TBR. In May I'm going to take part in the Asian Readathon, which runs through the whole month, and it's run by Read with Cindy, who I will link below. So I'm going to show you my selection of books. There's no way I can read all of these, I'll just be picking from these. And the first book is one that I'm actually currently reading, and that is Thorn by Intisar Khanani, who is a Pakistani-American author, and I'm almost done with this book. It's a Goose Girl retelling, and I'm really enjoying it, and I have it from my library as an Overdrive ebook. So after that, I think I will start The True Queen by Zen Cho, who is a Malaysian author, and this is a Fancy of Manners novel which is set in the same world as The Sorcerer to the Crown. So I think this is set mostly in Regency London, but I think the main characters are sisters, and they may be Malaysian. They have to travel to London to help one of the sisters. I also have another Zen Cho book that I could read. This is a historical romance novella. It has no fantasy elements, but Zen Cho is giving this away for free on Smashwords currently, and it's called The Perilous Life of Jade Yeo, and the main character is a writer or a journalist, and that's all I know. Another option of mine is Under the Pendulum Sun by Jeanette Ng, who was born in Hong Kong, and this is a gothic fantasy set in Victorian times where fairies discovered and Victorian missionaries go there, and the main character's brother has gone missing and she travels to Fairy to find him. And you can see that I have tabbed this book, I think every 50 pages or so. I think I was planning to read this during last year's reading rush. Then I have quite a few Japanese options. One is a library book that I have called Revenge by Yoko Ogawa, and I have been meaning to check this author out for a while now. I thought this was a short story collection, but reading the back, it seems to be like a longer narrative, but it has like linked stories, so maybe it follows a couple of different characters. I don't know anything about this except that it's dark. Other Japanese works that I have two manga that I have borrowed from Reija from the Bookfinch. The first of those is Our Dreams at Dusk by Yuki Kamatani, and I don't know anything about this. Goodreads says a beautiful tale of coming out and coming of age. And the other one is Silver Spoon Volume 1 by Hiromu Arakawa, who wrote Full Metal Alchemist, but this one has no like fantastical elements. This one tells of a city boy who enrolls in an agricultural school. And then I could also reread a Banane Yoshimoto book or two. I have Kitchen and NP as in Finnish translation, and then I have The Lake in English. And these two are favorites, and this one I can't remember anything about, so maybe I'll reread one of these. The May 22nd to 24th is a Torathon, which is run by Libby Stevenson, and there are two things that I have planned to read for this, which also qualify for the Asian Readathon, and they are The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nhi Vo, which is a Tour.com novella that Katie on Twitter gifted to me. I think that one is like a court intrigue novella. It's about a young royal from the far north is sent south for a political marriage. I think it's told from her handmaiden's perspective. And Nhi Vo is an Asian American author, I think Vietnamese American, but I'm not 100% sure about that. The other thing that I'm planning to read for the Tourathon is a piece of short fiction that's available for free on the Tour.com website, and that is These Deathless Bones by Cassandra Khaw, which is a horror short story or novelette. And Cassandra Khaw is a Malaysian author. This one says, a horror tale about the witch bride, second wife of a king, and the discord between her and her young stepson. So I think there might be like some horror fairy tale feels. So those were my Tourathon picks. Then I have a couple of ebooks that also qualify for the Asian Readathon. I have Descendant of the Crane by Joan He, who is a Chinese American author, and this one is a court intrigue, a novel. It's a young adult fantasy, it's Chinese inspired, and it tells about a princess whose father is, I think, murdered, and now she is suddenly thrust into power. And this sounds exactly like like the sort of thing that like a person who either arrives in court or has to rule, and someone has been murdered. The other book that I have is The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco, who is from the Philippines. And this is a young adult fantasy about a girl who accidentally resurrects her brother. So it turns out she's a necromancer, which is what a bone witch is. And that means that she is ostracized by her community. So that's all for the readathons. Then I would also like to read in May The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart, which is my TBR chart pick because I got the longest title on my TBR shelf, and this one is the longest title. And it's a middle grade adventure about, I think, 4 kids who respond to a newspaper ad, and then they have to go on some sort of a secret mission. Then I have these 3 books, and depending on which one you choose, in my previous video that I posted, I will be reading one of these in May. And they are The Fall of the Kings by Ellen Kushner and Delia Sherman, The Lie Tree by Frances Hardinge, and The Tropic of Serpents by Mary Brennan. And if those weren't enough, then I would also really like to start in May The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, which came out I think at the end of March. I got this in April. And also Network Effect by Martha Wells, the Murderbot novel, just came out in May. I think I will buy it on ebook. I haven't yet, but I would really like to read both of those. So let's see how much I'll be able to do and what I will actually get to. So these are some of my options for the Asian readathon. Let me know if you are also taking part, and I will see you in my next video.